Hello, honorable members of the clan. So let's go back to the Gauteng High Court, and this time we are reporting on what transpired after the short adjournment. And my goodness, if confusion is not confusion, then I don't know what confusion is, because I am so confused. I'm beginning to think that Advocate Baloyi was just wasting the court's time. There is something okulu that he's waiting for, and he needed to waste time with this particular witness before that big thing that he's, I don't know, planning comes and basically he drops that bombshell. Whatever that bombshell is, I am unhappy that he is wasting court's time, because now that I have listened to the entire lead, it's pointless. Absolutely pointless. You get a person that used to work for Tracker Connect who no longer works there. But okay, let me not spoil what Mr. Mgomezulu as he was cross-examining this witness. But let's first finish off these on and offs of this red Polo from, that is owned by Silo Twala. Not quite sure which Silo Twala they're talking about, and why this particular Silo Twala is driving like Mrs. Doubtfire, I have no idea. But anyways, after the adjournment, basically this is the movement of this vehicle. So from Liefde and Vrede, it will go to Heidelberg, Glen Vista. From Glen Vista, the following day, the 27th of October 2014, it did go to Malberton. Remember in Malberton, I don't know whose testimony, I think it was Zandile. Oh, no, it was not Zandile, it was Tumelo, who said Longwatwala did come to Alberton, but he was blocked by the securities at the boom gate to come through. And as a result, he needed to return. I'm not quite sure what he was upset about. That's the same day allegedly that Kelly Kumalo was offered a holiday by Mr. Twala Sr. That's the stuff that we heard from Tumelo Madlala's mouth when he was in Alberton, basically in shock. And then it went back to Glen Vista around 7:26 a.m. and around 8:05 in Glen Vista, the vehicle moved, but it was off. In Heidelberg, it still went off, and again it was turned on, and then it moved again around 4:15. Liefde and Vrede, it was there moving at 20 kilometers per hour on the 27th of October 2014. And then at 7:15, it then moved again at 13 kilometers per hour in Liefde and Vrede. Engine off again, and then at 8:16, this is in the morning, Liefde and Vrede, and the engine is turned on, and around 8:20 a.m. moving at 17 kilometers per hour. The vehicle was there from 8:01 to about 8:02, like about a minute, and then at 9:05 in the morning, it went back to Glen Vista, moving at 24 kilometers per hour. And around 9:20 a.m. of the 27th of October 2014, the GPS unlocked and car it was moving but off. Like, huh? And then around the same time, then it was turned on again at 9:52. This is like 10 a.m. It went back to Courtroom, driving at 19 kilometers an hour. Like, what is going on with the foot there? This is a Polo, by the way, guys. This is a Polo. And the question I'm asking, why did he go back to the crime scene on the 27th of October 20, or maybe no, he said he had his phone, then it was taken, then I don't know. Once again, he stayed there in Vosloorus on the 27th of October 2014 for 6 hours at Kutlanong Street. What was he doing there? Checking, making sure that nobody suspects. Sometimes when you feel guilty about something, let's say there is a deletion of a person in the neighborhood, and everybody was looking for this person, and all the neighbors came out, including the deleter. So that the umkondo ulashwe, or one way or the other, or he gets to hear exactly what are they finding. Was his blood found? Was there ballistic? What did they? All that sort of stuff I'm beginning to think maybe, and I'm not saying he did it, I'm just thinking maybe out of interest to find out who killed his friend. So he just wants to see everything, and he was there for 6 hours. And then around 25 to 5 p.m., he was in Brickfield Road, Katlehong, and driving at 13 kilometers per hour. And then at 17:11, this is like 10 past 5, he went back to Liefde and Vrede, moving at 24 kilometers per hour. Who lives in Liefde and Vrede is what I want to know. Or what's going on there? Please, somebody that lives nearby, let me know who lives there. What's happening? Because between Liefde and Glen Vista, it's about 5 kilometers apart, as we found out a little bit later. And then almost at 20 past 12 like a.m. in the morning, he was still in Liefde and Vrede, moving at 15 kilometers per hour, and then the engine was switched off. And then the following day at 6:32 p.m., Liefde and Vrede again. So that means he spent the entire night at Liefde and Vrede. Who lives there? Who lives there? And then he was still in Liefde and Vrede, Johannesburg, all the way up until 16:34 when he went to Kliprivier, moving at 19 kilometers per hour. At about 10 past 8 p.m., he went back to Liefde and Vrede, moving at 15 kilometers per hour. And then when it gets there, the engine is turned on, then it's turned off again. And then at 10 past 8 p.m., almost, okay, now I see. Then he was in Liefde and Vrede from 10 past 8 all the way to 20:38. About 30 minutes he was in Vrede. Then he went back to Glen Vista around 9 p.m., moving at 17 kilometers per hour. And then he went to Clarkview Road at 17 kilometers per hour. And then at 9, okay, then Baloyi said, please go back to what page, He wanted to know at Heidelberg before he went to Clarksview, at what speed he was traveling. And the lady said at 24 kilometers per hour to Vrede, from Heidelberg Place to Liefde and Vrede at 24 kilometers per hour. It looks like he spent the night there because, yeah. Oh, no, he didn't. I'm asking a question, like, since the Senzo Meyowa incident, this particular individual has not slept a wink. Now that this vehicle filled up with petrol. And this is a Polo, guys. A Polo, a guzzler of sorts. And then at 9:55, this is 10 to 10 on the 27th of October, 2014. Yeah, the engine is turned on. And I'm asking a question again. This turning on and off, was it to confuse the tracker, the GPS? Because it's sounding to me like what the police did with Ntanzi going to Northwest. They'll switch on and off, and GPS unlocked and stuff like that. And who was advising them if indeed this kind of tactic is going to confuse the tracker? I don't know. That is what I've picked up after the okay, no, let me finish before we get to Mgomezulu. I don't think we'll get to Mgomezulu on this video, because I don't want to make these videos too long anymore. I think the 10-minute bites are better to consume, I suppose. Let me know if you guys are about that, or you want a full review of what happened, which may take 30, 35 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes long. I think these 10 minutes are working for me. And then I think I asked a question like, if so, who was advising them to do this? Is it Kelly Kumalo's uncle, whom allegedly is a former police officer or a police officer who would know the manipulation of these systems? I don't know. I'm just asking a question. And then around 10, he went back to Heidelberg, moving at 19 kilometers per hour. And then at Heidelberg, he moved again at 24 kilometers per hour. He stopped around 5 past 10, and then engine went off. Oh my goodness. Then I was like, you know what? in order for us to understand exactly what on earth is going on with this AVL, the best person to give a full perspective of these movements is Longa Twala himself, by taking the stand, so that we get to understand what exactly were you doing between the 26th of October 2014 after the incident of Senzo Mewa, and the 27th of October 2014. All these movements, what were they about? But Baloyi said, oh, from what I understand, Baloyi is not going to call Longwe to account for those 2 days or so. And then I found it interesting that between Kutlwanong Street and the hospital, it is 7 kilometers. And then between Sikwati in to Kutlwanong, sorry, it is 4 kilometers per hour. And between Glen Vista and Livda, it is 5 kilometers apart. And Glen Vista and Kutlwanong, it is 25 kilometers apart. So that was then the end of Baloyi's lead with Miss Pretorius, who I think is getting a little bit snappy towards Mr. Ngomezulu, because Mr. Ngomezulu then took the floor to cross-examine the witness. Let's get to that cross-examination in my next video, because I don't want to make this one long. I just thought after the short adjournment, let me give you a report as to what transpired. Other than that, please do not leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And if you like us in this family, this is what we do. We are not lawyers. We're not experts or judges. We are just using our noggins and rubbing our two IQs together and then come up with our own opinions of what we are hearing in court. That's for the people at the back. Thank you so much. See you next time with a new video. Goodbye.